Hello children, today we're going to be talking about sex.
No! This is not what we're doing!
I thought it would be funny.
So, welcome to film night, which isn't actually currently taking place at night, because it's afternoon. But still, that's what I'm calling it because reasons. So yes, this is Liz.
Hello, I'm Liz.
You have a YouTube channel, don't you?
I do indeed.
You don't make videos on it, but you do exist on YouTube.
I do exist.
What is your username?
Flash Gordon.
Flash! Thank you. So even though she doesn't make videos, subscribe, because she might one day.
I might one day. That's the main thing.
Film night, we're going to be watching films. Kind of part of the title, I guess. So, yes. I agree with that hypothesis very much so. Yes, yes, yes. I just added the snort for authenticity purposes.
Of course, of course.
Of course, my dear, of course. Yeah.
The evil laugh is compulsory in many nationalities.
This devolved into insanity quite quickly.
Yeah.
Much more quickly than I had anticipated.
Well, this is what happens when you get two insane people in the same, situation. It ends up with insanity squared.
Here we are, a bunch of psychopaths doing things for each other, or whatever that quote is from Hannibal.
Use the word psychopath.
I did, because I was quoting Hannibal. And
fair enough.
Yeah, that's what I do now.
Eyebrows.
So, I'll show you what films I brought along with me today. And we'll see how many of them we get through in the time that we have available to us. The films that I brought along today are Misery, The Mothman Prophecies, and Scream!
It was very, very high pitch.
So I was thinking we start with Scream. And here's my hypothesis, my theoreticizing over why this order has been chosen by me.
It was chosen by you, so I'm sure your hypothesis on why you chose it will be accurate.
Indeed. I was thinking of organising it in terms of tone of movie. We start with the one that's a horror film that has the most comedy in it. We then move down to Misery, which has horror.
More and more serious as we go on.
Yes, and then we go to Misery, which has moments of black comedy, but more horror and thriller type elements, but not thriller in the way that you don't like. And then the most dour of all three of them, The Mothman Prophecies. Not dour, it's just the more downbeat of all of them, the less comedy in it.
Fair enough.
With less comedy and or even flavouring.
What was that?
The Simpsons, Professor Frink.
Oh, right.
I'm on the brink of Frink. So, in the words of Ra's al Ghul, even though he wasn't known as Ra's al Ghul in Batman Begins at the time in the film in which he said this, are you ready to begin?
Yes.
It was a very long way to get to the quoting of Liam Neeson, but I think it was worth it.
Any Liam Neeson quote is worth it.
Let us begin! Bing! So,
Bond.
alright, we're back. And we just finished watching, what did we watch?
Scream.
Correct, we watched that film. And, yeah, what did you think of it?
There was a lot of screaming. So it's aptly named.
Indeed it is. And you told me that you had not seen the film, but is that true?
I believe I'd seen several clips from it.
Yes. And this proved to be quite troublesome in trying to avoid the spoilers being revealed to you.
Yeah.
You just kept pausing the film all the time to say, is this happening? Is that happening? I'm like, I cannot tell you, it is my job to keep the spoilers from you.
In my defence, I do that with films that I haven't seen before and I'm always right anyway.
I remember, Inception. You did it then too.
This one's a dream and a dream and a dream and a dream, and that guy's going to figure out that this is going on because of the carnage.
And I'm like, watch the film! Let it tell you itself!
They don't happen fast enough.
How much
It's
more
too
fast?
slow.
It has to go at the pace it has to go at to develop character and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
And the thing with this film is that it's written by Kevin Williamson, who would later go on recently to write the TV series The Following, starring Kevin Bacon and James Purefoy. James Purefoy, incidentally, he was going to play V in V for Vendetta. And he did.
I'm glad he didn't.
Well, he did in some bits. There are some parts of the film where it's him playing it under the mask. But they dubbed over it because at some point in the shooting he left the movie, and for creative differences, as they put it, and so Hugo Weaving came in, and then he does the rest of the performing and the voicing.
Thou shalt not question Hugo Weaving. It's the 11th commandment.
The following, written by Kevin Williamson, who did Scream many years yonder. And, yonder, yeah, it's a word. And,
One of the last in the dictionary.
indeed it is.
And most people don't figure out that by the end of it because they don't get to the end of the book. Turned out it was the zebra that did it.
But,
So a
yeah.
bad joke.
But yeah, the following, it shares many of the things that Scream shares with, and Kevin Williamson is obsessed with in terms of the things that he wants to tell stories about. But the difference between Scream and the following is that the following is shit, but Scream is not. But Scream, do watch it because it does still hold up.
It's a classic that stands the test of time. It stands the test of time.
It really does, and the test, because
And the task.
what the?
It's an omen, Jack. It's an omen.
Oh, see, as a
Very musical, isn't it?
That's my impersonation of the Omen theme by Jerry Goldsmith.
It'd be really funny if they'd shaved his head and then instead of finding like a 6, they were like, phew, it's okay, it's just an upside down 9. Calm down now.
So, we've now discussed Scream. Next, we're going on to Misery. Da, da, da. There we go. So, we go into Misery, which is a Stephen King movie adaptation type thing which you've never seen before, even though you're a massive fan of Stephen King.
I love Stephen King.
She loves Stephen King, she does.
The only book I've ever read where, not recently, the only recent book I've read where I couldn't physically put it down was The Shining.
The Shining.
And all the way through I was just like, this bit's amazing, no, this bit's amazing. And I went through the whole book like that. And it was just like, there was no bit where I was like, this is actually not as good as the rest of it.
So, we go on to Misery and see what she thinks afterwards. So, see you after that. Cut away now. We just finished watching Misery, did we not?
We did indeed.
Indeed we did a little too. I don't know why that went there. What do you think of the film?
I think it was perfectly named
Why?
because it was miserable.
Miserable in what way? Elaborate for us.
I think, obviously, Stephen King's main theme is to take something that occurs frequently in everyday life. For example, a hotel, something that everybody has to use on a frequent basis. With the use of aeroplanes and stuff, travel's become readily accessible to your average Joe. And as a consequence, that means that hotel rooms and stuff is an average Joe thing. And he takes something like that and deliberately makes it scary, so whenever you revisit that kind of environment, it makes it terrifying. For example, 1408, The Shining,
Yep.
and the book Cell is about cell phones. It couldn't get more everyday usage than that. But in this one, I think the central focus was on being helpless and obviously not being able to do anything about it. I think it's everybody's worst nightmare, being trapped in a situation where you can't physically defend yourself, and being trapped with a serial killer or a psychopath, and obviously not being able to do anything about it. But I think too much emphasis was put on waiting around and boredom than it was the helplessness. So it didn't make it as scary as it could have been, considering that was the general theme.
My feeling on it is that the making of the movie, the way that it's laid out, is... I mean, I've watched it again, I've not watched it in many years. It's many years since the last time I've watched it. And this time I've watched it now, and I think that it's... I've forgotten how perfectly made the whole thing is. I mean, no, you wouldn't say it was perfect.
Well,
because
it's
of the stuff
seamless in many respects.
There's a thing Mark Commode said, that there's a theory about if you shake certain movies, you could shake out maybe like half an hour of things that aren't necessary, and really bad movies you could shake out hours worth, maybe. And something like that, I can't remember exactly what the words were, but he said, if this film, Misery, you couldn't, if you did shake it, you wouldn't be able to shake any of it out because all of it is necessary to be in there. I mean, like every line of dialogue, every shot, every scene that's in there needs to be in there in order to tell the story and tell it in a way. And also I think it's paced just right, that it conveys the boredom that Paul Sheldon feels in the room, and it conveys all the other things that's going on, but it doesn't convey them and make it overkill. Things start and end in just the right places, and everything moves at just the right pace, that it gets to the places you want to go, but you're still getting the things it's trying to convey properly.
I suppose if it goes slowly, it adds an element of suspense as well.
Yeah, I mean, it may not have the helplessness feeling all the time, but it's all about the build-up thing. It's just slowly, not too slowly, but slowly ratcheting up the suspense until the hobbling. Your reaction to the hobbling, I mean, did you expect the hobbling thing to happen?
I kind of did, but at the same time, it was still nasty when it happened.
I mean, I've never seen you physically react to a movie that way. I mean, I know you don't. There's things in the movie that you find could be changed. Am I right in saying that? But the hobbling scene, at the very least, everyone always freaks out over the scene if they watch it for the first time, because it is just ah! I mean, your reaction, you were cowering up against this wall when you had the pillow here and you were covering yourself up and you were crouching down, and then you grabbed my hand and you did just squeezing it tight like. Have you ever reacted to any other film as physically as that, where it's like really gotten to you and you really like physically affected by it?
Potentially in Hannibal, when he puts soap in his head and feeds him his own brain.
That bit got to you the most?
No, not really. But I'd imagine if any film should have, it would have been that.
So is this the first time any film has actually...
Oh no, in Batman The Dark Knight Rises, when Bane tried to snap Batman. Yeah, that was a bit scary. Well, not scary, but it's sort of like cringeworthy. It's like when you see loads of blood in real life, you kind of go, what? No. Another example of where I actually cringed was in Wolf Creek. Pretty much all the way through the film, actually.
Oh, Wolf Creek, yeah.
I was physically shaking by the end of it.
I get that.
It's probably the only horror movie that's genuinely freaked me out.
A horror film that really freaked me out, that really made me feel physically ill from having watched it, was this film called Dread. Not the Judge Dredd film, which I finally got to watch the other day in full, thankfully, without any interruptions from Blu-ray stuff, because I watched it on TV on Sky Premiere, and that was good. It's a really good film, finally, now that I've seen it all. But no, not that Dread. There's another film called Dread, but it's spelled D-R-E-A-D. And it's a horror film, as Jackson Rathbone out of Twilight, playing a non-Twilighty role.
Jackson
Rathbone, he plays Jasper. And has Sean Evans, who now plays young Inspector Morse in Endeavour on ITV. And in that film, he plays a psycho. And it's based on the Clive Barker short story. Clive Barker, you'll know from having done Hellraiser, because he wrote that story and directed the film. And you've got Hellraiser, right? You've seen it? Yeah. And Dread is based on a Clive Barker short story. And not to go in any spoiler territory, it's just there's a bit near the end of the film when things have reached a very high pinnacle of insanity and horrificness. There is a certain point in which I physically felt there's a thing that happens in the film involving meat, we'll say, that really made me feel physically ill, like, oh god, I can't eat anything, I cannot. In the original book of Misery, the hobbling scene doesn't exactly go that way. In the book, she actually cuts off Paul's feet with an axe.
That sounds about right.
It's weird that in Stephen King movie adaptations, this is at least 2 times that axe has been replaced. Actually no, a sledgehammer and an axe have switched places to be replaced in adaptations of each other. Like in The Shining.
It was
in The Shining.
Mallet.
Yeah, in Shining it was that, and then the film was an axe. And in Misery, in the book, it was an axe to cut off Paul Sheldon's feet, but in the movie, it's a sledgehammer. So it's kind of the same principle. It's a very curious thing, isn't it?
That's interesting. It kind of implies that he's got an obsession with axes and sledgehammers.
He wants to be boom, 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 sledgehammer. Oh my god, I forgot something. The thing that he said in Misery that was like the best thing to say about it. During the bit in which Paul is trying to drug Annie, and you say, she's such a crazy bitch. But the wine glasses are nice though. Only you would say that.
The best bit in the whole film was the actual flower bouquet. I'm not even joking. It was really bad.
She really liked the flower bouquet.
It was lovely.
It was
she
lovely.
Had lovely taste in flowers and in vases and in
Sledgehammers.
wine glasses. Sledgehammers, yes.
Sledgehammer.
We're just so off the chain.
Off the chain?
We're just uncontrollable.
We're so offbeat, like the Addams Family. Do 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 The end of the zone.
Da-da-da-da.
Do-da-da-da. 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 Have you named one of your chairs Chair Lloyd?
I have not.
You really should, because it would be a great pun.
It would.
It'd fit right with your joke vocabulary in vernacular.
Vernacular, good word.
Vernacular. Do-do-do-do-do. Vernacular. Do-do-do-do. Vernacular. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
And that's how we roll. Local bands.
Local bands. That didn't go well.
Word.
I'm throat singing again.
Throat singing.
It's
actually like this the majority of the time. And at this point, everybody's head was vibrating at the right frequency for us to internally explode.
Like in Scanners. Magdalene inside.
That's a film? I thought I just made that up.
No, it's a real film called Scanners, directed by David Cronenberg.
They used... There's a confession for you. Genuine confession. You know who Batman is now, obviously.
Yeah.
Spread the word.
Yeah. I'm rich beyond belief, to say no. Yeah.
He's actually the right height and everything.
I'm Batman.
I'm not.
She's not, apparently.
No.
Or is she?
I'm also... What's his face? Spartacus?
No, I am Spartacus, thank
I'm
you.
Spartacus.
No, I'm Spartacus.
No, I'm Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus.
You're Spartacus.
You are. Especially if you've seen the TV show Spartacus, which employed that very self-same theory.
We're all Spartacus. It's sort of like a V for Vendetta thing going on.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
That's a very 300 style to it.
I do like 300.
Yeah, it's very over the top,
Oh,
completely
they're loads
overwhelming.
of men shirtless.
Oh, that's an overabundance on the show. There's also women everywhere as well, but it's mainly men.
This is why we should watch it.
Lots of nudity everywhere.
That's the main reason why people watch films anyway.
And then surprisingly, a little bit of story in there too, which takes you by surprise. Around about the middle of season
It's sort
one,
of like 50 Shades of Grey. How it's all sex and then it randomly adds plot and you're like, what? When did this happen?
Just so we're clear, Spartacus is nothing like 50 Shades of Grey. This is not Spartacus. It's not Spartacus.
No, it is not.
It is not.
Can you imagine a clip of Spartacus just reading 50 Shades of Grey like, this is actually quite good?
I am Spartacus, and I'm aroused. That would make a very strange episode.
It would.
Alternate
Sounds very
universe.
Monty Python.
Spam, 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 50 Shades of Grey, spam, spam, and more spam.
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 Spam. Spam.
Spam is a good word.
We're spamming this video by saying spam so much.
Spam.
Spam.
There should be a Rick Rolling bit in the middle.
Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Yeah, we went there.
We Rick rolled our own video.
These are a few of my favourite things.
When the top by
When the bee stings.
when I'm feeling low.
Sad.
Shut up. Sad thing is, I knew that as I was singing it as well.
Well, you know, I simply remember my favourite things, and then I don't feel
So, sad.
bad.
I feel like I'm on a chat show. Yeah. At a certain point in the life where you stop going from, probably shouldn't do this, it's not socially acceptable, to, hey, let's see what happens. It'll be fun.
YOLO!
I had a friend put up a good argument that YOLO is actually more of a reason to be civilised and make sense. And I was like... Moving on.
Do we have any more to say?
Well, I've got plenty to say. But you'd have to pick a topic, my friend.
Ooh, if only we had a wheel of fortune.
Let's spin the wheel! And our imaginary wheel has spun on too. Bizarre Daffy Duck impressions.
I didn't know I could do Daffy Duck.
Daffy Duck being an conductor of an orchestra, I think.
That would be a really weird reimagining of V for Vendetta. Daffy Duck as V.
No.
That's nice.
It's very entertaining.
That was my Eric Morecambe impression.
That was my Scottish impression. No, Irish impression.
Oh, to be sure, that was your Irish impression.
We have no idea how to impersonate an Irish impression, thank you very much.
Well, I think that I do know how to impersonate an Irish person, to be sure.
In your defence, you kind of are Irish.
Okay, I'm half Irish indeed, to be sure, on my mother's side.
That'd be like me trying to impersonate an English person.
But you're doing that every day.
Exactly my point.
I think to be sure, situation. Potato! My hope in life is to have a better fake Irish accent than Brad Pitt in The Devil's Own. If I can do that, then things will be fine. Or Heather Graham in From Hell.
Or a better Welsh accent than, what's his face, Bill Nye in Harry Potter. Because that was disgraceful, let's be honest.
Yeah, but it's still Bill Nye, so he kind of gets
Bill
away with
Nye.
it. Because, you know, it's Bill Nye! This is my Kenneth Williams impression. Oh!
That's like one of the Muppets.
Hey, from the Muppet sounds like this. No, wait, now I'm starting to turn into Janet Straight Porter.
Yoda. You sound like Yoda.
You know, I could just do an entirely separate video of just us singing and just doing loads of music.
Totally.
Supercut. It's coming. It definitely is. Like all the characters in 50 Shades of Grey. High five. That's how we do it. Bye 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 bye. Boom 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 boom. Let the 74th thing games begin. No, I went to Bane there. That's a proper quote. Let the games begin. I need to always do this in front of my face in order to do the mask thing, or to do sufficient muffling.
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 Good word.
Yeah, it's like a cufflink, but muffling.
Completely ruined the word for me now. Thanks for that.
Just to get that on.
Yeah, that's on there now. Oh god. Okay, so hello.
Hello.
So, we have a new addition. But yeah, you're more like Louis C.K. than you are Eddie Murphy. As in, he's an American comedian, balding, red hair.
Oh, thanks.
No,
Sort of like a really scary version of Ronald McDonald.
sort of, in a way, yeah. It's like
See what I put up with?
the writing and producing and directing and starring in All You, that's a Louis C.K. thing. You're an auteur. But
Right,
it happens to lip sync to a bunch of songs all the time. Or did when he made videos. But still, Louis C.K. But in Amy form. Amy form.
Probably.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah. It's sort of like
Do they align
Harry
them?
Potter, but the wrong way around. And we're like female and you're male, which means it's the wrong way around.
So wait, who am I then?
You're blatantly Hermione.
Who am I?
You're Ron.
You're on.
I'm right with that.
You're Harry. Either one of
And
you.
you're Harry then.
I don't know.
Put on your glasses then.
You're either Ron or Harry. There's only two options.
Yeah, he's blatantly Hermione, so you have to be one or the other.
I'm Hermione apparently.
I live with
Can I be
him.
Dumbledore?
It's Leviosa! Not Leviosa! God! Now, do we do it long ways or folded in half? Which is better? There's only one way to find out.
Fight!
We're doing the game that you suggested of titles, linking them together by titles and the words. This is also something that's in the Doug Benson podcast. Doug loves movies, but neither of you will know that because only I listen to it because, you know, I'm me. So, but yeah, it's a thing. So, peace, paper.
Thank you.
You realise there's only one pen.
To the death!
I did not think this through.
Fight!
Let the Hunger Games begin.
Why don't we use our joint efforts and use all three of our minds?
Hey, Alligators, how are you? Use the Force, Luke. Or use the track, Benedict.
Or the lotion.
Put the lotion in the basket. Say that as Alec Guinness.
I didn't. I literally made that accent up off the top of my head.
But it was Alec Guinness though. Yeah.
I can't even remember what I said. Additional skin. It does this when it's true, and it gets the hooves again. It rhymes.
Hurdy-gurdy-gurdy-gurdy. There's also the Donovan song, Hurdy-gurdy Man. Hurdy-gurdy-gurdy-gurdy-gurdy, hurdy-gurdy he sang. It is a real song, I'm not making it up. You have to believe me, it's a real song.
If we were in Hannibal, you'd definitely be Wolverine.
I would be Will Graham. Zoom, zoom.
I would get eaten first.
Agreed.
Hey!
I was trying to do Doctor Who theme, but I can't because my mouth is dry. But I figured out how we're going to do this now. I remembered how they do it in the Doug Benson thing. You have to think of the titles, I write them down, and then we just expand from the middle, which sounds rather obscene, but...
Good night, everybody.
What title should we start with?
Cabin in the Woods.
Okay,
Have any of you seen that film?
I've got it on DVD and I showed it to you, but then I had to leave before you could finish it and then you watched it after I left.
Yep.
I like it very much because it is awesome.
It is.
I didn't like the ending though.
She didn't like the ending, and she forgot about the killer unicorn.
That's probably one of the best moments in
And you forgot about the killer unicorn.
I don't remember a killer unicorn.
There was a killer unicorn!
It's a freaking horror film with zombies and giant snakes and weird stuff happening and then a random badass unicorn. How do you forget about that?
I have no idea.
God, My Little Pony is out to get you.
Word.
You have to start either a title with woods or ending in the.
Right.
I have to start this off. The Woodsman, which is a Kevin Bacon film where he plays a paedophile.
Oh, so are we just doing horror films or
We can go across all genres.
Cabin in the Woods? Good night, everybody.
So, any films that start with man?
Man-Eater.
Is Man-Eater a real film? I have two other suggestions, but I want you should try and think of them first.
Manhattan.
How does that make sense?
No, that does. There's a Woody Allen film. We have it.
Cabin at the end of the woods, Manhattan.
Yes. It's going swimmingly. Any films that start with Tan or Anne?
An American Tale. Just means you
Yes,
go for the freaking cartoon.
No, that can work. That works. So far, it is The Cabin in the Woods, Manhattan, American Tale.
We're doing well. Coming to a cinema near you.
Alright, shall we go on to a different title? Start from another one.
Yes.
Okay. Any title suggestions?
The Thing.
The Thing? Is that agreed upon?
Yep, the thing.
Or Itch. Itch is a good title.
They're remaking that as well. God, people start remaking classics. It was shit the first time, it'll be shit the second.
I thought it was quite good.
It doesn't count because it was a TV miniseries, not an actual film.
It was an actual film.
Yeah.
It was a TV
It was an
miniseries.
actual film.
Yeah, it was like,
With Tim Curry as the clown.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was a TV miniseries.
But there was a film called It. which
Yeah,
was-
but it wasn't actually a film. The film of It made...
I
Don't
don't
even
need to
go
decide.
I will go Google on your
Oh, she's bringing the laptop.
The adaptation they made of Stephen King's book It was a TV miniseries that had Tim Curry.
I'm Googling. I'm gonna do it.
You Google yourself away. Dun 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 dun.
See, It is one of the only two books I have ever not been able to finish.
Yeah.
The second being 50 Shades of Grey. I threw
Oh, well, how ironic.
They're both
It's not my room.
genre.
I threw that bitch across the room and told it to piss off.
Miniseries.
Ah.
Miniseries.
For
Miniseries.
the 1927 silent movie, see It, 1927 film. In your face.
Fuck.
We win.
Mommy,
We
Daddy
start
fighting
with
again.
It. Do we have any movie titles that begin with it or end in it?
It came from the Black Lagoon.
No, I can think of one. Do you want me to start it off?
You know, like, infinitely more film titles than we do. This is an unfair, biased operation.
I will start it off with
You're the better off playing
It's
Hangman. have more
It's a Wonderful Life.
That film was so long but so sweet.
It was such a good film.
Any movies that begin with life.
O'Brien.
Ding
Jinx.
dong! The witch is dead. Which old witch?
The Wicked Witch.
Yeah. Any movies that end Any movies?
Free.
Any movies that end in it or begin with Brian?
Kind of cornered ourselves with that one, didn't we?
Or the last letters of Brian?
So Anne.
Annie?
Annie.
That'll do, yeah.
Bryony.
Brian.
Bryony.
The life of Bryony.
Sounds like a Canadian name.
It does.
Bryony.
Bryony. It's a wonderful life of Bryony.
Bryony.
I want to go to Canada.
Ends in it or starts with Bryony or knee or the letter E.
Come on, film fanatic, you know you got one.
You're the film fanatic, you should know the answer to this.
Evolution?
Bryony evolution. That'll do. That should work. I'm sure it fits in the rules. I'm not just fitting them to suit our own wills.
We have no rules.
Yeah. The first rule is we have no rules.
Damn it, she took the words right out of my mouth.
Meatloaf.
Not taking mine. I'm good.
Did you actually cut your lip with the paper?
It hurt, but I don't think I actually cut it.
Safe.
Safe, in it bled.
Oh god, we're going gangster.
It's her fault. She watched Attack the Block and now she started on me.
I kind of want to see that film.
So we've wound up here with It's a Wonderful Life of Bryony Evolution. Yeah, it'll do.
Sounds like a wonderful coming of age story.
It really does. New one. Any title suggestions? That's
The Mummy. The Mummy.
final answer.
The Mummy.
The Mummy.
Or Harry Potter and...
No, can't take it back. It's written down, it's official. Any movies that include The Mummy or end in me, my, B505.
My sister's keeper.
Yes.
Yes! Well done. You could have also had The Mummy Returns.
Touché.
Or The Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
Did not like that film.
No.
Nobody did. The Mum, My Sister's Keeper. Any films that start with Keeper? Or start with Purr?
Percy Jackson.
Perfect.
Percy Jackson. I will accept that.
Which I found hilarious. You know they've started advertising the new film. It's been that long since the first film and this one that they have to go through the entire first film at the first few seconds of the trailer just to remind us what's been going on. Yes, there's gods. Yes, they have children. And this is where we live. Okay, you caught up. Good. On to the next one.
Is it Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief?
That was the first one. This one is The Sea of Monsters.
Just have to make sure that I'm getting the complete title correctly. It's Lightning Thief.
You could have used Sea of Monsters, then you could have said Monsters Inc.
Son of a bitch! Any movies that start with thief?
Oh, there's The Book Thief, which is being made into a film. That book is amazing. I love that book so much.
I can think of one.
Okay.
Thief Lord. They made that into a movie, didn't they?
They did. I have not seen it, but yes.
Nobody watched it, I don't think, but yes.
Of the Ring.
Yes, we can go directly into Of the Rings. But which one?
Faux shizzle.
Finally seen the first one.
Extended or...
Extended.
Oh,
I
yeah.
sat there for over 3.5 hours when I was ill with the flu, sitting there with my housemates just surrounding me who kept giving me looks like, do you like it? Do you like it? Do you like it? And not if you fucking don't keep talking.
It's almost like you have to actually physically take the trip to Mordor with them, it's that long.
We took a 20-minute break in the middle.
Intermission.
Yeah, when I saw Return of the King in the cinema, the entire last bit of the movie from just before they're going into Mount Doom and actually throw the ring in the fires of Mount Doom, up until the final minutes of the film, which is like half an hour, 45 minutes, however long that bit is, I was holding in my bladder the whole time. I desperately had to go at the whole thing, but I just keep holding it in. I was like, okay, it's going to end here, right? It's going to end here then.
Oh, the
Here!
end.
Come on, is it going to end yet? Ah!
Even I watched Nostalgia Critic religiously, and he's done the top 11 most stupidest things in Lord of the Rings. Now he loves the films, and don't kill him, but he loves the films. But he has just pointed out a few things, and one of the points was all the fake out endings. Just, oh, you look like it's going to end here, but then they go to someone else, and you think it's going to end there, but then they show someone else's ending. It's like, just end the movie.
Which Lord of the Rings are we going for in this title extravaganza?
Return of the King.
Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King.
And then you can go Kingdom of Heaven.
Oh, well done. Return of the Kingdom of Heaven. Any films that start with heaven?
Is that a film? Or have I just made it up?
I don't know.
It sounds like a Bon Jovi song.
It does.
Or can start with EN. Enchanted.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, Ted. Ted!
Yes. Have to do Ted over Ted just so it's clear that they're overlapping.
Enchanted.
Enchanted. Any films that start with Ted or Ed?
The Deadpool game, it's very repetitive, and I'm not going to say worth the money because it is very basic. Go to this area, fight. Cutscene goes this area.
They fight. The itchy and scratchy show!
There is a moment where Wolverine is unconscious and you're trying to wake him up, and you are basically sitting on top of him, bitch slapping him, and you as like the controller just presses. Don't make this more awkward. Just pressing the same button over and over again. He says something every time. He's like, "This is for not calling me back in the morning. This is because the player keeps pressing the button. This is because I feel like it. This is because I'm punching Wolverine. This is because of global warming." And then at the end of it, he just goes, "Well, this isn't working." After about 5 minutes, even at one point, he goes, "And this is for 5 minutes of bonus extra play."
You nearly said extra play then.
Good night, everybody. Quite well. You're sitting on top of Wolverine in a very compromising position and slapping the hell out of him. So
Listen, slash fiction. Is this a dagger I see before me?
And that's how his audience died.
Yeah.
Mumbles of Greek.
Loompa, doopity-doo. I've got another puzzle for you. If you live in happiness too, like the Oompa
Do I seriously know all the words to this? Jack's dead.
Painting as much as another one thinks. What do you think will come of that?
I don't like the look of it. We all know that bit. Jinx.
What? Why are you telling me? I thought you were Jinx. I knew you Jinxed her, so how come you can be Jinxed as well? We were both Jinxed at the same time. You silly people.
Lol. Free.
Amy Wiggins.
Oh yeah.
Jack Keen.
The suspense.
Ooh, the power.
Jack Keen.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
What's up? I think we broke Jack.
No, I think that's his thinking face. I fixed it.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes.
It is the gospel.
And that is the gospel truth. I don't remember the tone.
I was wondering we were going to go on to Disney. This is my game.
I don't remember how the actual tune goes. I've not watched Hercules since I was a kid. Watched it on VHS.
There's a price for rotten judgments.
I think I've already won that.
No matter what the aggravation.
That's ancient history, been there, done that. Who'd you think you're kidding? Here's the earth and heaven till you try to keep it hidden. Honey, we can see right through. Face it like a grown-up. We know how you feel and who you're thinking of. Ta-da! We did well. We did.
Yeah.
Did we do well?
Whoops. Lyrics not found.
So I think that'll bring this all to a close quite happily.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quite melodically.
Melodically, indeed. So, yeah, that's the end. Everyone clap. This is another Woto reference, which none of these people will get. Yay! Radioactive content. Yeah. They don't get it.
No.
I don't care.
We'll keep clapping until someone stops.
This is not awkward at all.
No.
Ah.
You will watch us, Danny. Join us now.
One of us, one of us, one of us, one of us, one of us.
Yeah, we've got a rhythm.
I don't know what I'm singing, but who the fuck cares now? I'm just gonna freestyle rap right here because I'm a fucking cow. That's the way I go. Because I am something, and I don't know what to rhyme with something other than something.
Oh.
Have fun editing all of this.
I will, and he will in the future.
Creepy.
Wave to future me.
Bye.
A lifetime of pain and misery. Misery.
Buy the DVD now.
Advertising.
Subliminal messages. That's a lot of theme tunes.
Yes.
And I'm just the scared one in the corner.
Yeah, traumatized.
The only reference I can do is the Wreck-It Ralph one, which kind of sucks considering everyone's doing horror movies.
Penelope von Schweetz.
Penelope von Schweetz. I'm adorable.
Oh, credits.
So yes. Now it's the end.